tell you that I think I lost my way. I know you're there behind the mirror, but the cracks, they begin to show. I've got a secret I can't tell you. I just wanna be alone. I didn't know how much I needed, but I've got to give it somehow. Waking up to nothing when you know you're out of bed. Waking up to nothing. I wanna do it again. I'm so happy when I'm with you, but I hate it just the same. I know the walls, they have no meaning, but I swear they are all I need. Waking up to nothing when you know you're out of bed. I wanna lay low without you home. I've got everything I need. When you know you're nothing I need.
Hello and welcome to the round 2 of an anti-stall racing sports car series. Today we are in England at Donington Park Circuit. It's a 34 degree corner, 34 degrees Celsius track, so it's not going to be too hot. Not going to be too hot on our opponent, drivers. I mean, and it's a really good track, this one. And with me, I have someone who probably has some experience driving here. Hello, Steve.
Hi guys, thanks for the warm welcome. Yep, it's this is an enjoyable track. This one, I think this is going to show some, especially with the GT4, some cracking overtakes, and this is going to be a lot of drama, I think, today.
And you have racing here a lot of times on the touring car series as well.
Yeah, it's probably one of my most favourite tracks. I like to think I'm quite quick on it as well, so I'm used to driving it. It has a lot of kind of technical positions within the track with some adverse cambers, quick entries, a lot of off tracks here if you get things wrong. But like I say, I think it's going to be full of drama. I think it's going to be exciting for the viewers today.
Of course, these aren't the touring cars that you are used to. We have all rear-wheel driving cars. We have the GT4 class and the LMP3 class.
Yeah, I think the LMP3s are going to be interesting round here because it's not the longest track in the kind of calendar, but there's some fast straights going into some nice, quick chicanes, and then we've got the adverse camber coming at the bottom of the hill. So the rear wheel drivers will struggle a little bit through some of the sections, but should be some good grip there from the LMP3s.
to have here Yoni Yemi with his teammate behind. They are both starting their qualities. The first one to even start the qualities, of course, the GT4 class starts first. And how about we go for a little onboard?
Yeah, let's have it. So we're going to go into that first corner where you hold out as long as you can. You dip a little bit on the grass there, you lose a lot of your exit speed coming into the downhill section here. You need to cut the corner on the left now. Just tuck that in nice and tight. Heavy on the brakes, glide it through the corner, float it round, hard on the accelerator. Oh, he scrubbed it, he just took it out wide. A little bit early on the acceleration there. And then you come into the top of the hill section here. Nice hard brake, float it into third gear round here. Hard on the accelerator, get it up the hill. Oh, he's pulling over. No.
Yeah, we noticed that he already did an off track. Probably gave it a little switch into his teammate though.
Yeah, I think Valtteri is going to be very fortunate there. It'll be interesting to see what time he does actually set. But Johnny's quick. Johnny's quicker than you think. I've raced with him a lot in touring cars, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
That's a lot of cutting too as well.
Yeah. Then it just you can get some really crazy like cutting into that without getting your off track. But if you get your off track, it's a really severe penalty slowdown for you. So you really need to keep a balance through that. Here we go. So let's see what Valtteri can set.
As he crossed the line, the first one to qualify, was the left valid? Did he get an off track? I think he did. Nope, it is a 143.1.
Okay, so that's not a bad first lap with coldish tyres. That's a relatively strong lap time already. I would probably expect it to be about 132.8, 132.9 will probably be fastest round here, I would have said. Especially from the quicker guys like Harry and Yoni to come in again. So I think that'll be beaten. I think they'll beat that.
Indeed, as well, just being the first laps, of course, it always there's a lot of time to still improve. Of course, he's already got beaten. In fact, no, Valtteri, no, Harry. I mean, he's already trying to close in. We have a lot of Dutch Finnish drivers. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Finnish drivers. It's a lot of complicated names that we got to read.
Yeah, we sure do. I've raced with a lot of these in touring car in the iRacing officials, and then they've come over to join us with ASR, which is really cool. But this year, Harry and Yoni have bought their entire iRacing community, I think.
Indeed. We just instead of seeing by gap, let's just see how far apart the top 5 is to the first place, shall we?
Yeah, let's get it. I mean, it's interesting that no one's setting any purple sectors out there at the moment, which is, given the cold tyres first lap, I would have expected to see a couple in there. Yoni's just come in with a... Oh no, he must have dropped it in the last sector. He was very close to Valtteri there through the third sector, but he's not got to where he should have done. There's Sven. Sven's just closed in a bit.
Sven is a really strong driver. We see that he won the first race.
Yes.
And even qualified pole by a large margin as well.
He did, yes.
See, perhaps doing another lap he is. So let's go on another onboard with him. The driver on the BMW. And
it's interesting. I didn't think the BMW was going to be the quickest round this track. I didn't think it was quite going to suit the weight of it. Only as he's pulled out, so he must have dropped on the downhill section, I think. Again, there we see there with Yoni really taking some cut off that off those S's on the back straights. But he's still not setting those purple sectors. The time from Valtteri is holding up quite well at the moment, and we've got a little bit of time left. We've got about 6 minutes, I think, roughly left.
Can anyone even reach the 132, do you think?
I honestly thought in the GT4s that it would be about a 132.8, 132.9 maybe would be the quickest. But I don't know whether the track conditions are quite holding up for the guys out there, to be fair.
We did see it was about 45 degrees. As we can see. Oh, sorry.
I mean, Yanni's really on the edge there. He's throwing that car into those corners, and he's just not quite hitting the button just yet.
There we go. The track is 32 degrees. It actually went down a bit, and the air temperature is 18 degrees. So, yeah, I don't say it's too hot for these cars to drive out, but maybe they need more laps to heat up the tires. It could be that as well, because these tires start cold, don't they?
Yes, yeah, I think, and that was why I was surprised really with sort of Valtteri. I mean, Valtteri's out there. Oh, Yanni's just set a purple first. Valtteri's set a purple second. So it looks like they're getting their speed up a little bit now. So this will be interesting. Both have set 2 yellow sectors on top of it. I think Valtteri's going to cross the line first. So Johan there with a slight improvement. Valtteri's just coming up into the last. There he comes over the line. No, he's lost it in that back sector as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's hard to keep a whole lap, but even that, it was only 27 milliseconds. He could maybe even improve that lap if he had at least one green sector, because it seemed like he was going to improve.
I think he was there right up until the last hairpin at the bottom of the second from last straight. I think he just went a little bit deep into it, and that just cost him a tiny bit of time. I think he would have beat it. So we're on board with Sven now. And again, I don't see him with any purple sectors just yet.
And he stopped as well.
He's pulled over, so I think he must have picked up an X on the bottom section again. I think everybody's being caught out there with that exit of into the hard downhill right.
There we go. Valtteri is going up for another lap.
Oh, double purple sector for Valtteri. This could be it. Let's have a look. Nice exit as well from the hairpin. This could be a sub 133. It's line right if he gets the power down. A little bit of correction there, but let's see. No, again he must have just.
Oh,
there we go.
almost.
No, there we go. There we did it. He did it. A 100th. He beat it by 100th.
Yeah, he
was
did.
nearly on the 132s there. That was so close. So Yanni's just improved a little bit there. He's just gone above Sven. Harry's just on his outlap, and we've got not long. What have we got? 4 minutes. Oh, 2 minutes. Sorry, 2 minutes. So Harry, unless he's quite a way around his outlap, he's not going to get another flying lap.
See Daniel crossing the line, maybe an improvement there. He's about 7/10 behind P7. Unfortunately, he reduced only 3/10. He stays in 8th place. So we go with Joni Neri. Now starting with 2 yellow sectors.
Yeah.
3 yellow sectors now. It's a bit hard to improve that level.
Yeah, and Sven's done 3 yellows as well. So I think Valtteri is the man to be there. I don't think they're gonna get close to him.
It could be a disadvantage for the BMW on this track. As we see now, Sven really cannot improve much on his lap time. But it's interesting to see, since you have to start with the same car through the whole season, unless you want to change, but then that will cost you some points for the championship. So the car that you pick, you need to be really comfortable with it through the remaining of the season. And Some choose the BMW, some choose the Porsche, the Mercedes. It is up to the driver. I wouldn't say that on these GT4 cars the difference in power is that big. You know, it's even really similar. It looks like the touring cars as well. They're pretty much similar now. But it's really just a matter of how comfortable you are with driving. Since each car drives a little bit different, you know, front engine, rear engine, the power, the weight distribution. Some cars are really light. The BMW feels a bit different as well compared to the other GT4 car. It really depends on what you think you can drive best. Look at how much you cut there.
Yeah, definitely. I think the one thing with the GT4 class and the GT3 over the touring cars is that the cars are very different and they do suit different tracks. So having a balance, you know, I've done a bit of GT4 and I'm much more balanced in the AMG than I am in anything else. But I think with the touring cars, it's marginal, the difference, a lot more marginal. With this, one track is very different to one car to the other. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see that, how that unfolds in the race. So, off we go with the LMP3s in 10 seconds, which will be good.
Sven does improve now. He just put himself to second place, right at the last lap. As we see now, the LMP3s are all crossing out of the pit exit and onto the road. Tom Deswell won the last race at Imola.
Yeah, Tom's been a steady little driver over the seasons he's been with us, and he's really come of strength in the LMP3, definitely. He won very convincingly as well in the last race, which was really cool. It'll be interesting to see how Brandon does today. Obviously, he's uber strong in the TCRs. He's won every season of those, in fact, and it was always awesome to be racing against Brandon because of the experience of him and the speed of him. So it'll be good to see how he's picked up his race in the LMP3s today. Yeah,
and even for such a completely different concept of a car, he still pulls up really well.
Yeah, still, yeah. He's definitely got some really good racecraft that's portable across any car platform. I've seen him in the MXs as well, and he's strong, really strong in the Mazda series as well.
Alright, shall we go on board with Kevin Stam here?
Yep, let's go. Our own Kevin Stam, let's go.
So onto the first corner. And it's going to be interesting, I would say, just because of how much traffic he has ahead of him. Can it actually be beneficial to him, you think?
I think it can if he gets it at the right distance, coming into the back two straights. It can be hugely beneficial at Donington. It's all down to keeping that gap consistent through till you get to that last couple of straights and really utilising the draft. He is a little bit close there to Roop in front. He's just dropped it. Yeah, he's just dropped it.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because if, for example, a car ahead of you makes a mistake, then you might have to brake and lose your entire lap. Or if you get washed by the Derriere as well, you might do a wrong corner.
Yeah, definitely.
Pressure.
I think the tyre wear is going to be interesting in the first couple of laps because the LMP3's tyres are, you've really got to get some temperature in them to get it to stick. So, quick lap there from Brandon. That's not too bad at all, 1:22.9. That's a very good first flying lap. Tom's come in. There he goes. 5/10 quicker. Nice. That's lovely from Tom, that on a first lap. Ryan, Sebastian. It's a shame. Jeremy must have just dropped out on an X because he was doing quite well there. Roop just set purple first. Let's see where that's going to end up. There's a reasonable gap at the moment there. Yeah, nice lap time there from Roop as well. That's
Thomas going for another lap. He's already improving his first two sectors. The gap isn't too big between P1 and P2. Roop did a really good lap for sure, but it will depend on if he can keep improving, because the first lap isn't always the best. He still needs to heat up the tires, of course.
Yeah, but let's see what Tom can do. I think Tom's done from the timing screens there, I think Tom was just seemingly just messing around a little bit, I think, in sector 3, whether he just had a little bit of a wobble coming into the first part of sector 3. Yeah, so then we've got Jeremy Purple 2. He was quite quick in his first one. Let's see what he comes in at. Yeah, he's coming at 4/10. That's nice. Well, then Brian's just jumped in there as well. Half a second down to 7 at the moment. That's nice and close.
Yeah. Still about 7 minutes to go, and there's still a lot of room to improvement. As we see, also Ben and Hawken improved his first 2 sectors. Can he make it? Because he's still not too far away. He's only 2 deaths behind. Tom.
Tom's just set purple 1, but gone yellow 2. Brandon's dropped to yellow in 3.
Ooh, he locks up, massive lock up. Is it gonna be bad for him? Now I wonder. It could still be fine for him, since he did improve the other 2 sectors. Oh, is he locked up again?
Locked up, yep. Oh, look at that. He's lost a lot of time there.
Yeah.
That's he'll write that lap off, I think, and run again. We've got Tom Purple 3. So let's see what his last corner is. He's gone yellow.
He does improve.
Yeah, he's done it. He's done it. He's got up there. And then we've got, that's interesting from Kwame. Where does that leave him? He must have X'd on that. That was a shame, because I think that would have nearly been pole. Leon's done 4 sectors, so he must have improved. Yep. Leon's gone up to P8. And we've got Root Purple 1, green sector 3 coming over the line. And we're on board now with our Sebastian. Yep, Root's gone up, has improved to P2 again. So that's put a nice bit of time on the board. I think Diego just did, yep, Diego's jumped up to 7 as well. It's nice and close. There's a second now down to P9.
Let's see if Seb can get into it as well. I think he got an off track because his time didn't even count.
I think he must have picked an X up there somewhere. He must have done it in sectors 1 or 2, because I think he was clean in 3 and 4.
Sophia crossing the line. Is it an improvement? It did beat yellow sectors, but it is an improvement still. And it is also an improvement for our current pole position of Tom Dadswell. Provisional pole, but Jeremy just stole it.
There he goes. Jeremy's just stole it by a 100th of a second. Or less than a 100th of a second even.
Oh, but wait, we got Roop also improving his lap. 2 purple sectors with 1 green. Oh, that is.
What a shame. What a shame. Roop was on a flyer there.
Yeah, it could have been the first 121.
That was that. He was flying as well in his first 2 sectors. He was up 2/10.
It's a shame. Still, we got 4 minutes. He can still put out a lap, and if he has the pace like he just did, maybe he can get the pole position. As we see now, Brandon crossing on the last sector here. Last corner to go. Great line there. Push the all full throttle here on the exit.
I think he might get an improvement on that.
Could be more than an improvement.
That should be P3. Yeah, it is P3. Excellent.
Only a 10th behind Jeremy now. So we got
Yanni's
him more
just
on track.
improved. Brian's just crossed. We've got Kevin and Leon just going on their out lap, so they'll get one flyer in. I think everybody else is staying out by the looks of it.
There's still 3 minutes left. They can still go out of the pit and still make a full lap.
I think there's only Leon in the pits. I think he's staying in by the looks of it.
Ooh, that was a pushy on the grass. I mean, sand at that point, but it could have worked for him. Diogo pushed
Diogo
up
just
to
improved,
P6.
yeah. Brandon's he's quicker in sectors 2 and 3, but there's no purples, so he could be pushing for 2 on if he does this last sector, he's gonna grab P2 by the looks of it.
Yeah, the difference is marginal.
Okay.
Maybe he can even get pole if he does a really good last sector, and we see, oh, it was a yellow.
Oh, he just dropped the last sector. I think it was the entry into the last turn there. Yeah, he doesn't improve. It was unfortunate.
It was on the same 10th, but yeah, it wasn't enough. Now we see that P8 has distanced themselves from P9. It was about 1 second between P1 and P9, but now it's a lot closer to P1s actually.
Brian just popped up to P4.
Kevin, now he made an under a second out provisional pole, and then Mooney also improving his lap time. These qualifying times are really not far apart from each other, if you think about it.
No, they're good. I mean, that's the second down to P11. That's going to be interesting on the race timings.
Yeah, it's gonna depend a lot on pure race pace, of course, but since that everyone seems to have like some good lap times here, as you see Diogo jump to P4 with a 10th. Yeah, because they have similar lap times, I'm gonna be worried about their being competitive against each other, you know? If they try to battle each other out, then they might just lose a lot. Well, we'll see. It's really a matter of how much can you get from the starting laps or so. Because everyone can just keep themselves in a line since they all have similar pace.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting from Tom. Did he improve on that? He did. He took pole. He took pole. Wow, that's excellent. By 800th of a second.
And Jeremy also just improving his lap. Another pole.
And he took it back. Wow, look at that. That's exciting for the end of qualifying, that is.
Yeah, where's Brendan? Can he possibly be the one taking out pole? Oh, apparently not, because he went for the grass.
No, it's not. It's just gone off.
Yeah, and I don't think he has time, because the qualifying ends in 10 seconds. He doesn't have enough time to cross the line or anything, so I think this is it. Jeremy stays in pole position of the LP3s. Sebastian trying to improve his lap time to not be in 12th place. He needs 5 tenths to be ahead of Leon, his anti-stall racing teammate. Can he do it?
Where's it? Or did he X? No,
not enough.
Just short. 1.5 tenths. So there you go, Jeremy, with a 122
Tom
flat. That's awesome.
He's still on the track. He has 2 green sectors.
He's up on sectors as well. That's going to be mighty close on the timings on my screen.
He does get pole position.
He's done it.
Wow.
Hang on. Hang on. Why am I behind as well? Oh no, he didn't. He must have dropped the last sector there. That's awesome. So Tom's grabbed it on the last seconds of qualifying. Quite literally the last seconds. That's amazing.
So yeah, Jeremy didn't get the pole position locked out, as I thought wrong apparently. Good for Tom, just napped the pole position right back. So this isn't his second, this is his first pole position of the anti-stall racing sports car series.
Yes, who grabbed pole last week?
Jeremy.
Oh, okay. But that was one dramatic end to the qualifying there. That was awesome. That shows you That shows you how close this kind of multi-class racing can be sometimes. That's really good, and that's gonna, when you look at the gap between first and 10th, this is really going to be close in the race, and it's going to be, there is going to be a lot of off tracks. There's going to be a few rear tyres hitting that grass section, and we're going to see a lot of changes in the race, which is it only makes good for the viewers. That does.
Exciting for the drivers as well, because they will have, of course, the most fun driving these cars. These are really fun classics that we have in our race, and really good cars.
And hello everybody, and
Hello,
your
Biggles.
friendly Biggles
Hey, Biggles.
here. As you mentioned, for everybody out there, well, okay, Mark Fletcher says let's go Tom, and everybody else, welcome along, tuning in here to the Anti-Stall Racing Sportscar Series Race 2, isn't it? Donington Park, and I just caught the end of the, a bit delayed getting in the traffic, mate, in this track. It's horrible to get into, but I got here. What exactly a qualifying session? I caught the end of that, isn't it? Very, very close at the top of the timesheets there.
It was great fun. The last 3 or 4 minutes there were absolutely on the edge of your seat, waiting to see who was coming in with the next time and to see where it was going to end up.
Now, just this 5-minute section that you have warm up currently at the moment, what would you be doing there as drivers? Both of you, I know, are drivers. Like, are you just like last minute tweaks and configurations to your car? Because you've just been through the qualifying. You hope the car's got what it has. Obviously, if you're the likes of Tom, maybe Tom's got, hey, I've got more time in this car. What would they be doing currently right now in this warm up?
I think from my perspective right now, I would be just looking at the tweaks between qualifying and race spec. I'd be just putting in a quick few laps to make sure you've got your brake balances right for the slightly different setup. This is for these cars, this is a tricky track because you've got rear wheel drives, and if you get the power down just that little bit early with the sway on the car, it's far too easy to swing the car around. So you're just looking for that where you can make those little changes, really.
That's seems like exactly what they're doing. Loving some of those liveries, as you can see currently, Tom, at the moment. What about for the GT4 class? Any surprises there? We got Ferraris and the Beamers up the top there.
It doesn't have rights.
Oh, sorry, that's Porsche. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, you got, so Porsche and BMW seem to be the ones dominating, with the Mercedes in there a little bit.
Well, it depends. Also, might be track specific, because last race we saw Sven on the BMW just dominating both quali and race, winning by about 10 seconds ahead of the second place. But this time we were struggling a bit more. Valtteri got in better with the Porsche. But it's going to be an exciting and a really close race for sure.
Excellent. Andy did say out there in the chat as well too. No time to change much on the car, just mainly getting used to running on so much fuel again. That's actually a really good point, isn't it? Because the fact that on qualifying, we practically running it on vapors, but now you've got the car fully fueled, so it's going to feel like it's a different kettle, a different beast to handle, isn't it? You have to brake a little bit earlier and things like that. You have to be a little bit careful with the accelerator, exiting out of corners. Yeah, that is something I don't know too much about, but then again, that's the reason I'm up here in the casting booth and not down there driving these vehicles.
Yeah, it's always interesting at this bit because you're hyped for qualifying, especially if you do well. And sometimes it's difficult because you've got to shift your mindset and you've got to think about the longer strategy now, and where you were trying to pinch those tenths and hundredths of a second in quali and gambling on it. When you come into the race, you've got to drop that mentality. You've got to play a little bit more cautious and consistent. So, rotating the car and getting on the accelerator early with these cars, it's a totally different thing to like the TCRs that I drive, because you've got a degree of forgiveness with a front wheel drive car. With rear wheel drive, you don't have it. You drop the accelerator like a hammer, you're spinning quicker than a waltzer, and it's game over.
Spinning quicker than a what?
So a waltzer, it's like a fairground ride that spins around really quickly.
Okay.
And they keep spinning you and spinning you and spinning you until you feel really sick. So yeah, it's like one of those.
Oh, cool. I never heard of that. I've been many a fairground ride spinning you around, of course. Exactly. Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. No worries, mate. I'll swing over.
Okay, let's just take a look real quick on our grid. Here with the LMP3s, you wanna say the names?
Usually read them out. You're a lot better than me.
Okay, I'll try. So, pole position here, Tom Dadswell. P2, Jeremy Ostring. P3, Brandon Hawken. Juan Mikos in P4. Brian Lawrence in P5. Diogo Theodore in P6. Rupi Kurkipa in P7. Sophia Ripath in P8. Kevin Sam in P9. Dan Moore in P10. Leon Ellevoet in P11. Sebastian van Hilve in P12. We also got Kevin Galvin in P13. Yanni Kakkonen in P14. And that's the grid of the LMP3s. And we got with, sorry?
It's Valtteri.
Yeah, okay, it's just skipping for some reason. Okay, Valtteri in the first position here on the GT4 class. Sven Demel in P2. P3 with Joni Niemi. P4 with Daniel Robinson. P5 with Harry Junila. P6 with Joti Kismaki. P7 with Alex May. P8 with Danny Oinke. P9 Johan Brinsteel. P10 in Sarah Schmidt. P11 Pierre-Yves de Sot. And P12 with Ryan Pendicio. And that's our
Excellent.
grid here.
Got through those lovely names from all around the different parts of the world. A lot of Finnish drivers in here, actually.
Yeah,
Which is
there's
the reason
like
why it's a little difficult. You gotta,
there's like 7. I noticed 7 Finnish drivers.
yeah. And then the usual suspects there of Leon, Sebastian, and Kevin. They're representing the Dutch Army, the Netherlands, and you've got a bunch of German drivers, a couple for Portugal and Spain, Canadians, British, and obviously here at one of the birthplace of sports, Donington Park of motor racing. So we'll see in a second. You get ready to go racing, and of course the LMP3s will go first and a little bit further down. Let's see how they handle turn 1. So far so good there, my friend. I think everybody got through there quite well. Let's see how it handles out back in the GT4 class. There's a little bit of contact there, but it's definitely a good challenge there. Currently full P4, give or take, P5, P6 I think it is, right? That's Daniel. Exactly, there's Daniel Robinson, the New Zealand driver. And try to take it around the outside here. Make it stick and turns back into the inside there, so if you can keep it floored, well, the gas pedal lit as much as possibly can, has got the job done. Maybe a comeback here through the S's. That's going to be bold and brave. Still sneaks in their head. Oh, there's the 17 car, I think, spinning off at the moment, and that's Yelty. Just like that, isn't it? When everybody's bunched up, you go from your race position practically to plump last, but luckily you still have some time, 40-something minutes and change to get something done about it. Further up, here we go to Brandon Hawken. He's the sole Canadian driver, I think, on the grid. Good time zone for him in the afternoon. Parts of that little snap of oversteer on the exit there. It gets the power down. Heavy fuel, as you mentioned there too before, Paulo, so it's a different beast to handle. How are you finding the lap 1 so far? Been done, moving lap 2 now.
Well, we only saw one incident, and after all, he did crash onto wall either, so Jota should still keep himself on the road, doesn't need to pit. So everything went fine for lap 1.
They don't need to pit at all there for the GT4s?
No, everyone's still on the road.
Okay.
Of course, they still need to pit for fuel, but that's later on.
Fuel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
but
fuel
no
for that. Yeah, the tyres or the damage. Okay. Is Sophia Ridpath the 333 machine?
There is someone that went to the pits though, an LMP3. What happened here?
That's Dan Morrell, yeah. He's come off track somewhere, so I'd imagine he's had a tangle with the fence, and this is it in slow motion. Yeah, absolutely. The front left is going to have a bit of a nasty whack. Maybe a little tap on the rear there, but as you know, some of these cars are pretty fragile, aren't they? You could bend that steering. He's elected at this point just to tow it back. Didn't even give it a shot, I think, to see how the car was going to handle. And again, get that pit stop done, but you're not going to make it to there now. You're without the fuel like that, not with 43 minutes to go. What about Sophia this season? She's gained 2 positions. Sophia's always been the charging. She charges back through the field. Her race pace gets quicker and quicker, I think, isn't it, as the race goes longer. She's always one to look out for, and it's happened to Leon. I'm not quite sure that was anything out of that corner there of Leon. This has dropped it into here. You can see the front end dive down a little bit. There it is. See the front, yeah, the nose just bogged into that. That means that it was applying the brakes a little bit, and the rear end slipped out. Leon currently running in at the last place, and that's somebody off into the distance there. Just a little bit of gravel moment. Leon's currently running. There's Brian, actually. So I was about to say Leon, I think, was running last for the LMP3s, but now it might be this man, Brian. This has dropped it through the S's. Yes, the exit of the second S. Kicked it out of the fence? No, tangled into the fence.
Hopefully
it
the
just
tire
seems
barrier
like they-
isn't damaged too much. I think these cars are pretty rigid compared to even other prototypes I've seen.
The runoff area doesn't slow them down too much, does it? It seems to be. It's more like you're on ice. Once you're out there, you're out there. You're just sliding straight into the fences. Now, obviously, the runoff area is there to prevent the car from high speed impacts. But I don't know if the simulation model really focuses too much on those runoff areas like it would in real life, because it's not so. Once you're out there anyway.
It kind of does in real life as well. We've seen people go through the sand and even the grass and just skipping because of the speed that they carry.
I think you're absolutely right. So, because this is not a Class A track, is it? Like you do for Formula One, so you wouldn't quite have the full-on runoff areas or to be deemed safe enough for Formula One. I don't know. What we are looking at currently at the moment is Harry.
For Formula 1, it could possibly be done here. It's just, I don't think it just promotes really good overtake. It says Formula 1 needs long straights because of how fast the cars accelerate, for example.
Yes, correct. So you don't think the straights are long enough here before you get down to the hairpin? Melbourne hairpin? It's too short, is it? Here's a run. No, it just sends the dummy up there. It says, reminds Daniel up the road there in P6 that, hey, I'm here. Daniel, the sole Aston Martin driver from Germany. He's gained 3 positions currently in this race. What about Wami Costa? You should know how to pronounce that name there, Paul. Is that if she's from your country or...
No, he's Spanish and Portuguese.
He's Spanish? Yeah, Portuguese. Well, he's got the Portuguese / for Spanish flag there.
Yeah, some people don't define it yet. You have to do it manually.
There is one driver out there driving under the Portuguese flag, which is the driver currently in P7. And here he is here. Just dropped in one place. Do you know this man?
No, actually not.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought everybody knows everybody in Portugal. It's such a small country.
Well, we got to know after, of course, he joined the league. But yeah, it's Portuguese people stick together, you know?
You do. Absolutely. And well, all the cars are sticking together on track, especially the top 3. So they're keeping Tom honest, making sure Tom doesn't get up the road too much. You got Jeremy and Brandon. Then you have that tiny gap down to Wami, who's got Sophia Ridpath for company, as you can see right now, running on board with Sophia in the 333 machine. Loving her livery. You certainly won't miss Sophia out there on the track, would you, with that wonderful livery that she's got on with that vehicle. And once again, she's keeping the Spanish driver honest up the road there. Ooh, and a little bit of lock up like that. Well, the exit of the final corner may give Sophia a little bit more to put the challenge on, but still too far back to overtake turn 1.
Yeah, Costa still made a better sector last time than Sophia. But look at how wide he gone.
Oh, yeah, she's going to have to go for it. Don't you think now, Paulo? There's no way she can be held up here. Going to send it?
Just send it, stay on the inside. That's what Costa has to do. And let's see if it's...
Oh, still there. Still on the outside. There it is. Got the job done. Had to lift through there finally. Otherwise, you would have seen 2 cars go into the fence.
Oh, and already going
and the
through the traffic.
Just at the right place at the right time, you'd have to say. Definitely a heart and throat moment.
Yeah, it's a good thing she overtook already, because behind traffic it might be
getting held
complicated.
up just a little bit there, as they're both going to sneak through. This is why I love multi-class racing, isn't it? I mean, drivers, of course, don't like having to see a slower class to overtake, but that's a part of the challenges that you have as a driver in the multi-class, because you've got to make sure you time at the right place at the right time, as well as there's other drivers, remember, in the other class. They're also trying to battle in their own class. So you got to love it. I didn't expect them to be overtaking, already lapping the GT4s, my friend, but they are now. Here you go. But a nice battle for the lead. It's for P2 in this race.
Yeah, P2.
Jeremy and Brandon.
They've been switching some position on the last corners, but Jeremy still sticks it in P2, the same position that he qualified. For now, the biggest winner, I would say it's Sophia. She won 4 positions since the start.
And Sophia gets she gets on with it further into the race too. It's always thing about Sophia is I've chatted to her before in the past seasons, you know, when she's been on the podium and stuff, and it's like she's always like the qualifying performances has always let Sophia down a little bit, I think, throughout the season. She doesn't qualify as well, but when she gets that race pace, she's so much quicker. She always gains positions generally in a race every single time. So you kind of think, well, imagine what if Sophia can get that car on pole every week. She may be a force to be reckoned with. I'm sure Sophia's well aware of that. Remind her.
Well, of course, qualifying is still a race in itself, so you gotta do best in both qualifying and the race. And you see the LMP3 just sneaking in before the chicane starts.
Exactly, they had to sneak on through as well. With Harry currently running in 8th in class. There he is there, the Finnish driver, definitely approaching that corner. That's another one too, is even approaching the corner as the GT4s. You're practically braking about the same, aren't you, as the LMP3s, so in fact you could probably even brake a little bit later than the LMP, so they can catch you off, of course, as soon as the LMP is on the gas pedal. It's way out of the, exiting out of the corner quicker than you. And the car that's flashing its light looks like the safety car, doesn't it? A pace car livery for the GT4. Is that the pace car?
No, but I think it was protesting because there was a little bit of contact between the LMP3 and the GT4.
True. Yeah, actually, it reminds me, it's a good idea, actually. Why not use the pace car as your livery? If it would be allowed, not illegal, I'm sure they wouldn't. I think we've had a bit of a crash here. Have we had a bit of a crash? I'm seeing a couple of cars maybe involved in here.
Not between each other, but only alone. You did see Dan Murray did it once, and also something happened with Daniel Rookie.
Yeah, Daniel's had that's a big impact. Look at the front. We just caught the engine's blown. Let's have a look. Oh, he gets off the racing line, so make sure almost kills. You gotta give it to Daniel. I guess that's the reason why you shouldn't really be moving over in the corner, isn't it? Even if you are being lapped by the faster class, because his compromise his racing exit there. He's off the racing line, probably gone on to the dirty stuff, and then just a high-speed impact.
Sophia's ahead.
Oh wow, we can go back and have a replay on that one. Yeah, Sophia's past Jeremy. P2. Is it Jeremy made a... Doesn't look like Jeremy made a mistake. Maybe traffic on the way. Let's have a look. Oh, there's 3 here, so... Oh!
She got 2 in the same...
There's 2 of them, yes, exactly. It's the main straightaway drag. But she's on the outside, so she's going to have the racing line. They are backing off behind because go through the S's. Bang, just like that, 2 for 1 special.
That's
Sophia,
really adventurous,
P2.
but it paid off.
Oh, yeah, and the gap as well, too, that she's already got. I think that's definitely because of the traffic coming to play. Maybe caught either Jeremy or Brandon off there, and then Sophia's sees the opportunity and got that done. I don't know if you're going to go back and have a look at a little bit earlier of that one, because that was probably maybe the overtake of the race. Still have lots of racing to go, but amazing. And that's probably, and all this is giving Tom a little bit more of a smile on his face, because that battling that we just saw between 2nd, 3rd and 4th is now giving Tom a 4.7 second gap, as you can see on there. But now that Sophia is free, she can work on chasing down Tom to make sure he doesn't get too far away in the race. Last week's race winner, I think you mentioned, so he's looking for back-to-back. Just wondering what happened to our other commentator just before, my friend. Did he have to leave?
No, he went to Stewart.
To what, sorry?
Stewart.
Oh, he's stewarding. Okay.
Yeah. So then Andy wasn't going to be alone.
Oh, yeah, because obviously Andy is one of our stewards as well, too, and he'll be sitting there. reviewing a lot of this. We have 26 or so cars on the track, so that's definitely be busy, especially when you're in a multi-class league as well, race, because of the fact that, you know, you've got action everywhere on the track. Drivers will be complaining about some of the LMP GT4s, of course, and the GT4s will be complaining about the LMP3s as well too. But as you were aware, you know, if you are in the GT3, you don't have to get off your racing line, do you? The others have to force their way around you.
In every multi-class race, you should just stay on the racing line, and it's better to be predictable, I would say, so that the car that's going to overtake you doesn't have to suddenly make a move, which might cause a crash between both drivers. Of course, you can always allow the car that's being overtaken. If you are the slower car, you can just move a bit on the outside of a corner, for example, to give the faster car the inside and just go straight in faster. But it's
what about the case that you saw?
Yeah.
Well, the case you just saw before with Daniel, I think it was, that had to go off that racing, went off the racing line and compromised his car and lost it. What happened in that situation? Do you think Daniel shouldn't have done that? Stayed on the racing line?
It seems that the mistake was about to happen anyway, since it took a bit to go off the corner. This is more like an old school track, you know. It's road, then grass. There's no runoff area of asphalt, so you really need to stick yourself on the road.
There you have it. Diego's not done that as we're speaking about it. Where is Diego? Diego's your Portuguese driver. Colin.
What happened there?
I'm sure he. Has he dropped it out of here? That would be unusual. No, it's further up.
And this incident is being investigated. Let's see what happened between both drivers.
Oh, there's contact there. Yeah.
That was too soon from Sven to cut off, I would say. The car wasn't clear on the inside yet for that, but...
How's the turning circle? Oh, could just get turned around. They're not designed for a very good turning circle there.
No, at least he keeps it off of more danger.
And no damage, of course, in... That wouldn't have done any major damage to have to compromise going to pit road to fix up. But just a little bit of damage to the ego of the driver, who no doubt has filed that complaint. We'll see what race control.
Yeah, he lost a lot of positions, sadly, for that.
Oh, look at that. Straight through, as one car was tucked up behind the GT3, and then just like that, Diego gets through. And that was Leon he just overtook. 77 machines. One of the anti-stall racing bosses. Big lock up there from Diego. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
It is... Diogo.
Diogo. Okay.
Yeah.
Similar to it would be like Diego in Spanish, but Diogo.
Yeah, but Diego has an E. This has an O.
Yeah. But they pronounce the vowels differently sometimes. Alex May has maybe had a crash. That could be interesting, or an off-track excursion, because Alex is running in P4 in the GT4 class. Still got 4 positions gained, but I just wonder what happened to the Porsche driver, Porsche German driver.
Well,
See about it all in the events. Alex May here. Yeah.
Doesn't seem like anything happened.
Lap 10 at 17:54. There you go. There's a 5-second time penalty. That's been issued on that collision.
Yeah.
There's your race leader, Tom. Cool, calm and collective getting it done. Now his 5-second gap has actually opened up a little bit more gap to Sophia. I thought Sophia, once she was released into, I was going to say the clear air, but you know, there's not too much clear air on this track when you have so much traffic around.
But it's good for Sophia, because last race she was... already we saw a little contact between two drivers there. We'll check on it on a bit. I was going to say for... Also, that gave a position for Sven, didn't it? Oh, another mistake there from the LMP3 driver. And seems like it was Leon.
Almost had a collision with our race leader at the moment, which is this man.
Yeah.
Yanni.
Well, I was gonna say, previous race for Sophia, she unfortunately, as was running at P3, got too many incidents and had to do a drive for an Imola. An Imola track is notorious for having a long pit lane, you know? So that dropped down to P10. But if she can keep, well, on the road and avoid any incidents if possible, then she can finally get that podium position she deserves on the first race.
Yes, and this will be interesting if Race Control is giving us some more information of being investigated. That was Valtteri and
yes.
This is yeah, that was the incident there. That's before. Was our race leader coming through of Johnny? Just having a look at the other driver that was investigated. That one was Leon. Leon's in the pit road right now.
So that's the incident that happened. Leon was just having a really bad time there, I would say. Not fun for him.
No, we're not even halfway through the race yet. When do you start expecting to start to see those pit stops for fuel?
In about 7 minutes, it's halfway through the timing. And people will start going when there's also too much traffic ahead of them, for example. We can see it on the map.
Oh, I didn't see
So
the track
far,
map. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Yeah.
so far they are all together with each other. So it's good for our LP3 leaders, I would say. If they can actually get through this traffic, they don't need to pit yet, so they will take the free road ahead. No, actually Tom just goes in already.
Yeah, it's good. Just going to say that one at the moment because I was looking at the 2 1s on the track there. So the other one's the GT4 leader, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe if Tom can come out and find that gap around, you can see that almost a whole sector there is free. Oh, Sophia gets it on the grass, but definitely a heart and throat moment for her there. She just managed to save it because she's probably pushing, realizing to respond to Tom's pit stop right now. Brian goes in.
Yeah, another Altitude Sports driver here, Tom's teammate. And we see Tom already exiting the pits, hopefully not getting caught by anyone behind him, so it's fine.
Yeah, where they're going to slot themselves back out, a bit of gap for the air. E1, and here's Daniel for the NDRL racing team. Motorsport. You can see the orange on the back there. It's got the Anti-Stall Racing logo on the rear bumper as well. And this is a battle currently with Alex May up the road there for P4 in class. There's Sophia behind. Sophia should have clear now on the straightaway, but no problem before they get into the corner breaking point here. You can see too the GT4s, like as I said, they're almost breaking and they're going in actually. Both of them and Sophia. Oh, that's got difficult pit lane entrance, isn't it, there for Daniel? You got to turn that thing on the dime. He's right down the end of the garage. That's going to cost him a little bit of time, won't it? They're going to get it on jacks properly.
So yeah, they actually went sooner, probably because of traffic reasons. You can of course go more laps, but it is a decision to go right in just to avoid as much traffic. If you can exit out on clean track, that's what most people want to do, of course.
Yeah. Come back out in traffic is going to compromise your outlap big time. And you could drop half a second or a second or so. Go altitude, as Izzy Pop says. Go altitude. I added the extra go in there, Izzy. Gonna make it exciting. Go altitude. And Altitude Esports, of course, is Tom. Tom slid himself back out in P7 ahead of Sophia. She has made... Did Sophia box? Yeah, Sophia boxed. So Sophia and Tom have boxed. So that's their net current position. They should be back into the lead.
So
and
far,
in
Tom,
P2.
Sophia, and Brian. There's the only three that pitted.
Yes. Absolutely. Perhaps you can show that up there on an extra column for us there, please. Paulo, show us who's made those pit stops and haven't yet.
Do I have it? I do have it.
Yes, you are. Thank you. Yep. That gives us an indication currently in a moment so that you can see 4 actually. Dan's made a pit stop. Dan's actually retired from the session, so is Leon. Now they're out, as you can see. So it is only those 3 drivers that you'd mentioned. Now, even though you're looking at Brian going to P12, remember he's made his pit stop and it does cost you a little bit of time around here. Give or take about 40 seconds overall, 15 or so in your box. Here's Rupee in the pit stop. Here's Tom back in, take that position as well as Sophia. How far are they apart? Let's have a look. 4.7 seconds. So not too much as gained or lost there between Tom and Sophia. That are about that gap before they went into pit road. And they're still remaining to be that gap for now. Sophia's just got to get on with it, doesn't she? She has to put those banker laps in there and perhaps destroy the fans' hopes out there of both Mark Fletcher and Izzy going for the Altitudes racing team. Sophia, of course, is going to be going for her team that she can get the job done. On Tom's snap of a break, you can see up the road there from who's that ahead of Jeremy. Is that Brandon? Yes, it is. But they're still yet to make a pit stop. How much is it? Would you do there as a racing driver there, my friend? Like at this point, you're knowing that somebody's going to go into pit road. Is it better for Jeremy to sit back here and maybe coast and save fuel, or just go for it and perhaps get a race lead at least for one point in this race before they do have to pit?
It really depends, because now we see the cheating reports are starting to pit as well. See Sven already on the pits. Did he change the wheel? Is he changing? No. It seems that his car is a bit up, but I think it's just a suspension.
You sure? It looks like he's taking tires, so it doesn't. It should drop it on the jack spot if it was, right?
No, he did. He did change tires. Yeah.
He's changing tires. That's unusual, right? I thought you set of tires would be able to run out no problems.
It's I mean, changing tires would take much longer since you don't need that much fuel. Let's see if the Mercedes behind is also changing tires. Actually, did they even stop?
Drive-through.
Yeah, it's a drive-through.
That's a drive-through penalty. Yeah, didn't even stop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Going up again on the top two, they are still about 4/10 in between each other, while Tom is trying to catch ahead of them. Yes, this isn't. Sometimes I think it's. Is it properly insert that does the leading gets a point? Or I think touring cars did have the. Once you lead a lap, you gain a point, but not here on the sports car.
No. Yeah, same. I think IndyCar and NASCAR and stuff like that too. Yeah, you lead laps, you can get extra points for it. So,
and most lap laps as well.
Yeah, in this case, I don't know if Jeremy has the pace to do it, and he's going to force Brandon into a mistake. That's the one thing you want to be trying to do in the psychological games. He's also going to be very careful for himself. Let's have a look if the GT4s do. There's teammates here, so
they are not switching tires.
Yeah, they're not. And you got to love, don't you, driving through your team in the pit stops. There's my, there's Alex May, which I call the safety car 2.0. So the kid's going to pull up behind. I swear.
Since that Sven was the only car, it's so bumpy that
bumpy there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like he's missed his pit stop, maybe too. Yeah, well, obviously in the real world, you wouldn't be driving straight over in the pit block garages like that.
No, I think it's shared. That's why the maintenance because I think it's limited the number of garages you overlap with the other class.
Okay.
So,
here is Valtteri, not Bottas, but Valtteri Palello.
I think Sven was further ahead, wasn't he? Before he pitted Sven from Valtteri.
So.
Since now they are super close and now 4 seconds behind Yoni, that's fantastic. We see now Jeremy, he is in the pits, so then this Brandon.
Oh look, there's somebody taking tyres too as well. That's the Mercedes up on the jacks.
So we have, let's see, where is it? Only the top 3 haven't pitted for fuel. The rest has.
Correct. Yeah, and Tom's only 9 seconds behind Sebastian, so that's not going to be a problem with a 40-second pit stop, give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tom just set fastest lap on the last lap, so he's now pushing it. Absolutely.
I was going to say, I didn't see anyone on the LMP2 drive-throughs, correct?
Any? Sorry, what was that?
Of the LMP3s.
Oh, the LMP3's what?
Did they do
Drive-through?
any drive-through? I don't think they did.
Oh, I didn't see any drive-throughs. No, Brandon's finally in now from the race lead. That will free up. And what's happened here to Kevin?
Kevin and
Gavin.
Falcon had in a little collision.
Oh, into this corner here. We've seen this before. Oh, he's dropped it on himself there.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
He made Valtteri lose a bit of time there.
Finally, the rest are in. So Sebastian's in, and now Wami, Costa are in. So that's it for the pit stops for the LMP3s.
That being
As well, I
said,
think.
Tom
Yeah,
gets
everybody's
his
pit
spot.
stops are done. Yeah, you could probably shut that pit stop thing down now,
I mean, first position.
because we
But
know
wait,
what it is.
Have you noticed Sophia is not in second place?
Oh yeah. Actually, I was just looking at that before. I was thinking, why was it taking so long for Sophia to overtake us in the pit road? I think Sophia's had a moment, so let's have a look through race control here. Just see. But I'm not seeing any messages of race control. You
Oh,
got-
I see.
Yeah.
Apparently, they went through the pit lane. Or something. Oh no, never mind. It was an error. Sometimes when you cross the line, it says on race control that they entered and exited
Oh,
pit
yes.
lane. It's a really marginal line that if you cross it, it says, "Ooh, look at that." Scott really held up there. Maybe after all, the time lost to Tom was traffic, possibly.
Yeah, there's nothing I'm getting in race control at all about Sophia being off track or in collision with any. The only last race control messages I got from about Sophia was just that she entered the pit road, and we saw that anyway. And she came out, remember, 4
Oh, no,
5
this is
seconds
it.
behind. Let's have a
This
look.
was it.
Oh, yeah, you found it. Is that contact in the fence? I can't quite see what that.
No,
camera
it's
is.
just all grass. But that
well.
lost plenty of time for sure.
Just like that, but still in the race. With 15 minutes to go. It's going to give Tom a little bit more breathing space now. And Brandon is 4.4 seconds behind. I'm just interested. Has Tom made a mistake as well, too? Because this is interesting.
No.
If Sophia was 4.7 seconds behind Tom, and she made that mistake, it's gone off. But Brandon wasn't that close to her. That's interesting. Out of the pit road, how about I mean, even with that little mistake.
No, I think the space between Tom and Brandon, for example, mostly kept being the same. And you can see that Brandon is catching up a bit. It's at 3.7 seconds now.
Yeah, but Tom's responding. Last lap's at 22.21. Last lap for Brandon's at 22.49. Oh, lucky Tom actually did. You see, he had to lock up a little bit to avoid hitting Alex May out of the final corner. So it's signs of a good experienced driver, you'd have to say, is that sharp awareness, isn't it? Like Tom just knowing, okay, if I didn't respond quick enough to that one, I could have lost my front end and also hit the back there of Alex May, and then at that point, you know, we could have spoiled his race and certainly could have spoiled Tom's race. You've got to have a little bit of patience in this one as Ruby gets sets the fastest lap in P6 right now, 1.3 seconds behind Sophia, looking to take that position. Here's Brian. He's just a handful, just a grabbing distance. He could reach out there and touch the rear wing right now of Sebastian. But Brian, don't take your hands off the steering wheel. She's not through here. Look at the difference in the speed through the corners as well too, and whether or not how the driver's much more tweaking the machine the way that they like it, doesn't it? Just appears to me that Brian's so much more faster here at the moment. It's had to lift off quite a bit to avoid hitting the back of Sebastian. But has Sebastian configured his car for more straight line speed? Let's have a look as they do go down one of the straightaways. You can kind of see that Sebastian does have a little bit more straight line speed, but cornering looks to be all on Brian's way. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I think because of that a car right positioned ahead, it also makes Brian's corners a bit not the best side, because he needs to avoid breaking too much less than the Sebastian, otherwise he can hit the car ahead. So he has to still maintain the distance and wait for the right opportunity to pass. You see below the sectors, they are not that different between each other, so they kind of balance out.
Ah, true. Yeah, you're right. I do see that. To me, it just looks like straight line speed a little bit more, maybe the acceleration on Sebastian's car. What's happened to Daniel Robinson here? Fool. And he's gone into the corner there, and I think he's just noticed in his mirrors there was the LMP there, and had to go onto the grass to avoid it. And I have to say that for the Kiwi driver, it's done very amazing.
It happened.
Brian's off somewhere. Oh, that could be a collision once again, just with the New Zealand driver we're talking about. So,
Yeah,
what
it
has
was.
happened? Oh, because he's come back on track, and perhaps it looked like when he was coming back on track. But you want to go back to the. We'll get a replay of that. We got more race control messages up there too.
I want to see it behind. So this is what happened between drivers. And while that was happening, they still then kept their brakes. So yeah, unfortunate for the drivers that were fighting each other, but it happens in racing, you know.
It's a motor race, exactly.
Yeah.
Race control already had, I think, Brian up there. Well, that was the investigation. That race control just popped up, but just then about that crash that we're looking at.
It's being
The incident.
investigated.
Harry's had a moment, so have a look at that one. Harry, and
That's
Julia.
fast. That's the best
that
that we
was-
just saw.
Yeah. Sorry, my camera views are a little bit different than yours, so I'm just seeing them. I just see below the hill.
Something happened here.
It's Ryan,
Why
and
is it
on the
long?
racing line.
Yeah.
Isn't that is that Kevin, the number 3? Yeah, no, this is it. Ryan has had much more speed going into that corner there for the Clown Academy, and had to take evasive action not to run into Kevin, I think it was, the number 3
Same
machine.
corner.
Oh, it's Sophia!
That's the
Now,
same
she got
corner as
away with
before.
that one earlier, didn't she, remember?
Yeah.
One time, she got away with it. She managed to save it. And the second time, that's not the second time she did that, because was that the same corner she did lose it last time?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But now in the other direction, instead of going right, she went left.
Aha.
But again, unfortunately for Sophia, it seems like she's gonna miss another podium chance. She has the speed,
No damage, but
it's the
yeah.
consistency that really matters. And that's why we have Tom here in first place, just keeping it together. Still losing a bit of time from Brent, but he still has 10 minutes to go. And as long as he keeps it like this, he can win
Kevin's
another
crashed.
race.
Kevin Stam's crashed. I don't know if we want to show it. Also, Valtteri has had a moment too in this, so we've got a couple of little highlight reels coming for you with just under 10 minutes to go on this race. Should we
Doesn't
show the
show
boss
that
man,
Kevin
Kevin?
crashed.
Sorry?
Yeah, Kevin didn't crash.
He didn't? Maybe that's just something I'm showing, yeah. Sarah Smith's going off track there, and Valtteri. What about Valtteri? You seeing Valtteri Kalilo? So he's running currently in P3. Maybe that's just one of those messages that you were talking about, the pit road entrance or something like that. Not saying
Yeah,
between
or it
pits,
could
but
just be the passes.
yes, that's right. You're right. Just I just see it on my race control message is a big red crashed. I'm like, what? But the key is that they have to be off track or something around there. But Sarah Smith has. I don't know if you want to have a look at Sarah. Ooh, there's somebody in the final corner too. You see at the bottom of the pictures there, as they just exited. Not quite sure who that was. That might have been Diego.
I noticed
Or
something
Sarah.
though. The track has gone a bit cooler. You see how dark it went.
Yeah.
Let's see what happened to Diego then. The same corner as Sophia's been doing.
Yeah, we're going to call that the Sophia corner from now on. Sorry, Sophia. It's been catching everybody off.
But did they come back to the track? No, they jumped to the pits.
Yeah, too much damage on that front end. I have to look. There's Sarah Smith that I was talking about as well too. The 269 Mercedes just not having much luck here, going out wide.
She went 2 on the outside
And-
and then Try to come back. All right.
Yeah, I think just to trying to avoid those cars getting out of the way, you know, because the driver's running 11th in class, practically plump last. Just, you know, getting the car there, we want to see the checkered flag, not trying to get in anybody's way, but those cold tires, you know, you get these tires have to be operating at a certain temperature, don't they? And if they get too cold, they have no traction whatsoever when you hit the gas pedal. That's the reason why you're going around. Look at this bold and brave move as Brandon's pushing it through. He's dicing his way through the GT4 classes perfectly, you'd have to say, as we're riding the board, isn't it?
It's so
Which is
cool
a big
to see.
gamble because you've got a lot of faith, don't you, on those other cars when you are doing that, and luckily for Brandon, it worked out perfectly.
It's just cool to see the faster classes go through the traffic as quickly as they can.
And it did pay off too, because he's 3 seconds now away from Tom. And just like that, getting through some of that traffic perfectly can make all the difference, isn't it? You can save yourself half a second off the drivers around you.
What do you think of this Mercedes livery?
Let's have a look at it. Yes, very, very, very Mercedes-esque Formula One, actually, with a little spinneroo to it. I do like it. I was like looking at it right now, thinking, is that Lewis Hamilton or George Russell driving that? No, it's not. It's Yachty. And he's racing for position as well, too. It's Daniel Robinson up the road. Remember?
Yes, he is.
And there it is. Just got the overtake, I think, done. No.
No. I
Not
think
yet.
you're
My apologies. No.
Oh, Kevin now crashed. What happened to Kevin? Our empty stall commander.
Boss
Ooh,
man! No!
He went against the GT4 car.
He
It doesn't
did.
seem that it damaged his car, and he keeps
There it is.
on the road.
Comes up with the race control message as well, too. So that's under investigation between himself and the other car.
Yeah, and because of that, we also see that Johan also took.
Oh, that's a replay again of it, yeah.
Did he
Does that
hit the
push-
ball? He did. Ooh, that's a big crash.
Huge impact there from Johan. Now, I mean, that's a difficult one to say who's at fault. Thankfully, that's the reason why we've got the stewards to make all those decisions for us. We would sit there and just take it as it is.
Yeah.
Johan has gone off track again too, so that's just an unfortunate day. Sarah Smith as well, and Johan. Well, that's Johan you just saw. That's the damage.
So
Just,
this
I
is
don't
when
know.
they pause, and this is when to stop on track and went to the pits.
Yeah,
So
just that's
they get up.
undrivable. It's not crabbing, but you can see. Yeah, the tire there to the left. You can't steer it. Oh no!
Oh, that's not how
Now, that
you.
one would be under race control because if that car was deemed dangerous
Yeah.
and should have been towed back to pit road, now by driving it, you've taken somebody else out. Not by accident, of course, but still shouldn't have been driving that car back if you couldn't drive it. That's definitely another one. These stewards are going to be super busy because we have 2 stewards now, and I guess it's probably a good idea that I did manage to get in the track there and help commentate, my friends, so that we can keep the stewarding team.
It's
some
always
more,
necessary, especially on races where there are 2 different classes, since a lot of overlapping can happen compared to a single class race, where there's more distance between the same class, but now they keep overtaking.
No, I think everybody out there in the chat, if you agree, multi-class racing is just so much fun. Some drivers necessarily don't like it because of the reason it keeps them really, really busy and they get frustrated with the different classes. But for entertainment aspect, for you and me, up here in the casting box and people watching it, it's always fun because once again, it doesn't matter if your race leader is out the road there 50 seconds up the road from other drivers, they still have to navigate their way through the different classes, and accidents can still happen. So it doesn't turn into maybe one of those Formula One snore fests that you get halfway through Formula One races, but all right, you know. There goes
You're
Max
always
Verstappen.
racing. You're always
Yeah,
racing.
you're always
That's
racing.
happened,
You know, this is going to be tight. I think this could be braking too hard into the corner. And no, just through the S's actually, and there it is. I said, yeah, Sarah Smith's not had the best day here today, but I'm sure this driver just wants to get it home. Just wants to see the checkered flags. Only a couple more left.
Another
You just want to tick that off, don't you, and go, you know what? Yep, I did it. Donington Park is not. Donington
Ooh,
Park's
drifting.
not. Oh, Kevstar. Kev's currently running P9. Started in P9. So as long as Kev can keep in this position, he can walk out of here saying, I didn't lose anything, I didn't gain anything.
Currently, he's 1 minute behind the leader, but from behind him, 5 seconds till the car of Yanni can catch him. So, yeah, just needs to keep it on 2 more laps about.
Oh, look at the way Brent is throwing the machine through the corner, trying everything he can. But Tom's just cool, calm, and collective, isn't he? He hasn't really made any... Ice cool, Mr. Tom, not made any mistakes here. Not seeing the off tracks. Just let us know too on race control. I know you are very, very busy with about a minute and change to go. But I'm just wondering if anything in race control can give us any warnings about any drivers that are right on the limit of their off track excursions. I wanted to ask that a little bit earlier, but I forgot. Look at that. Tom just sets the fastest lap in here just to add injury to insult to everybody else and said, look, remember, I'm taking this one. I'm taking the trophy, P1. Nothing's going to stop me. He doesn't need to take crazy risks right now with the time ticking down too. So even if he gets close to a GT4 car, he could back off a little bit and afford to lose half a second or something if he has to. Because he's now got the fastest lap on top of it. So he doesn't need anything else to prove, does he? Just bring the car home P1. You got it. There we go. Thank you very much, race control. Top 5 of both classes are all safe. That means that nobody has to be worried about serving a drive-through penalty at this point. They can push it a little bit if they have to. Tell you what, right now, Rupee needs to push it if he wants the P4. And it's up to this man of Ummy to try to do something about it. What do you think there, Paulo, on the last... Are we on the last lap? I didn't see my mouse flashing white yet.
Let's see the position of Tom.
Or Barney.
He still needs to cross the line, so...
2 to go then.
It's a white flag now.
Oh,
we are
white
going
flag
to
down,
the
yeah.
left side now.
There it is. Time penalty for the number 63 machine. And as you can see, they're not holding the line while being lapped. Interesting.
It was the white McLaren that we saw that stepped on the grass and just made the crash.
That was it. Yep, that was Johan. And that was the incident between Kevin, wasn't it?
Another Kevin, yeah. I think it was, what's the other Kevin? Galvin.
Kevin Galvin, yeah, the Irishman. Well, here we are, final lap. Tom has been doing Tom things and dominated this race. Got it all right in pole, put it on pole, and got much of a pressure. He held off at early stages of the race when you had a top 3 battling it out. Elected to do the pit stop earlier. Helped Tom come out in traffic without limited traffic. And therefore get on with it. And of course, Noemi there for the Porsche has gained 5 positions, and the 87 machine looks to be the one that takes the race win for them. But first of all, watch Tom cross the checkered flag there. See Barney at the moment. And Tom, for the Altitude Sports out there, to keep everybody happy, has done it there for the Altitude Esports machine. So Tom's dad will take that one. Second win in a row. Absolutely. Brilliant job from him. And got the fastest lap as well too with a 22.71. Actually, no, that's not the absolute quickest lap. I'll get that up for you in a minute. 21. The only man to get in the 21s, 21.9. You were talking about that during the qualifying, weren't you?
Yeah, it was actually faster than the qualifying lap.
Yeah. And Johnny for the 87 Porsche, yeah, a great drive there for the finish drive because he got that P1 in class as well too on Sven. And Sophia, unfortunately, she knows that she could have got a lot more done on that one. A few little mistakes that she had that cost her potentially a P2 or P3. I'm not quite sure she would have had enough to bring it to Tom towards in the end, but she certainly would have brought it to Brandon and Jeremy. That would have been some good racing, but you know, once again, at first you have to beat the track yourself before you can start beating the other drivers. What a race we've had. We knew it was going to be close. Knew it was going to be action-packed. Certainly the stewards have been very, very busy having to issue out some of that. Any other surprises from your end there, Paulo?
I was surprised in the GT4 class because Sven had such a domination on Imola, but now he was actually getting closer. Even felt he was getting closer to the leader, but It's a class win for Yoni Niemi, the first one he does on the Anti-Stall Racing Sports Car Series, so congrats to Yoni.
Yeah, and the 5 positions gained as well.
Also, Brendan,
To get it
let's
done.
not forget our TCR,
Oh yeah, Brandon.
3-time TCR champion, gets his first podium at second place here.
Yeah, and Brandon was fighting it too for now. You can see the way the Canadian driver was throwing that machine around.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean,
If he
and
gets
once again, it
used
was
to
on
this,
pace with Tom. Tom
if
had a
he gets-
little bit more in it, I feel, that Tom could match every time Brandon was attacking faster, Tom was responding.
I would say
Which
if he
is a
gets
little
used
bit
to the car, he might get some wins even, and finally challenge Tom. That's one.
Absolutely. We also got to be in it too, you know, to any mistakes from Tom or any collisions or something that happens, then Brandon's in there to steal that P1. Those results, if you'd like to go for us, please, there, Paulo.
All right, so our second race winner of the Anti-Stall Racing Sports Car Series goes to Tom Dadswell, Brandon Hawkin with the P2, Jeremy Ostring with the P3, Jaime Cosa in P4, Rupe Kurkipa in P5, Sophia Ripath in P6, Sebastian van der Helve in P7, Brian Lawrence in P8, Kevin Stam in P9, Kani Kakunen in P10, P11 for Kevin Galvin, P12 for Diogo Teodoro, P13 for Leon Elvoet, and P14 for Dan Murray on our LMP3 class. And if we've set now for the other one. I'm sorry.
The GT4's come up in a second, yep. Don't forget, this is all sponsored by Digital Motorsports and Rogue Energy, so make sure you check out antistallracing.com for that information. Also, check the description for the Discord if you want to be a part of racing some of the best, quickest drivers on the planet, too. You got to remember, some of these drivers have, for example, Brennan, 7.4K I rating that this man has, and it's not easy to get an I rating of even over 4K. Very easy. Tom's on the limit at 4.5K, and you've got some of the drivers. You've got Wami there, 6.6K. We've got those race results, of course, there for the... Oh, you can see it anyway.
Yeah, I can put it on GT4, so I'll just do it like this. P1 for Yoniniemi, P2 for Sven Nemo, P3 for Valticalio, P4 for Alex May, P5 for Harry Unila, P6 for Danny Robinson, P7 for Jote Ristimaki, P7 for Pierre-Yves Sot, P8 for Ryan Pandicio, P9 for Daniel Ronke, P10 for Sarah Schmidt, and P11 for Johan Prinsel. I might have gone the order wrong, but you can see it. And shall we go for our interviews then?
Yes, sir. Of course. Want to hear from the drivers if they're available.
Yeah.
I'm sure out there, we got a lot of Tom fans or Altitude fans, so I'm sure they want to hear from Tom.
Tom isn't currently in the interview, so let's just bring Brandon Hawkin here.
Let's bring Brandon in, yeah, of course. Brandon did a great job. Brandon.
Hello, Brandon.
Oh, hello.
So this is your first podium, isn't it, for the Sports Car Series?
Yes, I believe it is.
So you're already going up on, well, what seems to be a future race winner here.
I hope so. That's the hope, I guess. Man, yeah, Tom is absolutely, like, he's super fast. I don't think I had anything for him, but you know, I'll keep working at it. I'm getting closer. Definitely a much smaller margin of victory than what I was back last week. So that's a big plus. And yeah, hopefully it continues to trend upward. And man, that was just a really good race. Had some great fun there with Jeremy and Sophia and Tom and Wanmi and yeah, a whole bunch of them. That was some really good stuff. And man, yeah, I got a little bit sketchy at points. I made a little bit of a mistake there, and yeah, I kind of drove Sarah off the track there early in the race, and I didn't want to do that. But yeah, once we got going there, yeah, we were all getting more comfortable with the like where we were all passing, and yeah, it was surprising. Like, I thought it was gonna be like a lot more hectic than Imola, but at least from my point of view, it was a lot calmer. And yeah, everybody in the GT4s and LMP3s did a really great job there. And Man, yeah, that was some good stuff. I had that really long battle there at the start, and I just thought I'll just stay out and hopefully the lap traffic helps me here, and yeah, I was able to get a good advantage coming off the pits and cut the lead in about half, but yeah, I just didn't have the pace that Tom did. So man, great win to him, and man, just great racing with everybody.
You did have the pace with Tom. For sure, like towards the end, every time you were getting quicker, Tom was just responding a little bit more. So
yeah, it was close. He was close.
Yeah, you're fine. Maybe if you guys continued for another 100 laps, you might get very, very close. But at that point, it's just a matter of consistency and making mistakes or not making mistakes and navigating your way through. I saw a couple of points where you're navigating your way through the GT4s in through the S's, I think, at high speed. We were on board with you. That was amazing the way you were doing that because you were pushing it to the limits. And of course, going back to the start there, the great racing that you guys were battling it out there for essentially second, third, fourth, or something like that. I think it was. Was it also the point that was when Sophie got both of you down the straightaway? I think.
Yeah. So
when we saw 3 cars into one.
Yeah, I think it was I forget who it was, but yeah, there was 3 of us. And I was there was a GT4 car coming up, so I tried going around the outside, and then I think that's when Sophia took it to the inside of the car that was on my inside, and I'm not sure if we were like 4 wide at that point with the GT4, but yeah, we were 3 wide all the way down the straightaway, and I was on the inside, so I couldn't get the angle going into the chicane, and Sophia just went right around the outside of both of us. That was really cool. So
yeah.
and then from there I was just trying to catch Sophia. We were pretty even on pace, but yeah, it was just kind of back and forth when we hit the traffic, and I'm not sure what happened after that, but that was just a really good race.
I think that would have absolutely been fun as well too, because I think you and Sophia would have been battling out for the rest of it. Sophia, of course, boxed a little bit after Tom, I think, and then you guys boxed after that. But then Sophia had a couple of moments just on her own on the track. We're calling it the Rid Path corner, isn't it? On one of them, that she keeps making some mistakes, unfortunately.
Not only her,
but
too.
anyway, yeah, not only her. But that's one driver's loss is another driver's gain. Of course, yours by getting yourself up there. And great job, as you said. And I'm amazed. How do you get a 7.4 KI rating? That's ridiculous.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Top 50 in the world, no doubt, probably with that.
Was that only on touring
thank
cars?
you. No, I have done a lot of touring cars. There was like when touring cars came out. I did like a whole week of Laguna Seca the week that the Audi came out, and you can see just like a line, like a big like jump in my graph there. But yeah, I kind of yeah, like I really love like touring. Like there's a lot of cars I like. Yeah, like touring cars, MX-5s, LMP3s. Have become one of my favorite cars. It's a lot of fun to drive too, and just Iro 1, although the officials weren't too great in that. Yeah, just I don't know, kind of just drive what I feel like I like in the week, and the 86 is a lot of fun as well, and yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff. I like driving pretty much anything, except for GT3s. I'm not a big fan of GT3s.
Oh, fair enough. And another question, because I like to ask drivers every once in a while. Do you drive barefoot, socks, or racing boots?
Socks, yeah.
Okay.
I like the feel that you get on the pedals. Like if I drove with shoes, I'd probably be a lot less accurate with my brakes. If I had like hydraulic pedals or something, I might go shoes. I'm not sure. I've never tried them before, but yeah, with the load cell, I'm happy with socks, and yeah, that's pretty much what I've driven. Like I've done my whole sim racing career is just socks.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's no right or wrong answer. That's how it's comfortable for you to feel. It's just like different drivers have their different styles. So I think we're gonna let you go, Brandon. It's been fantastic racing. Any final questions to Brandon there, Paula, or anybody in the chat? While we have him.
No, we are used to hearing from Brandon, always in the podiums. All right.
Well, I wasn't, because I was available to come and help out today, so I wanted to have a bit of a yarn for the first time meeting you, Brandon. It's nice to meet you, and keep up the good work.
Oh, you too. Yeah, thank you.
So shall we get Jeremy then first?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Jeremy.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hello.
How you doing?
Decent. good. I mean, not the best race, but fine.
Well, P3, still a podium, but you just dropped the one place from the start of the race. So you want to go ahead and explain how the whole race went for you?
I mean, it was just swearing. I mean, I was just swearing about the GT4s all the time, so that was my race really. So it wasn't optimal. I think the track profile doesn't really suit multi-class, so it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, in general, I think pace was decent, but I just got unlucky with the lap cars.
Well, it was entertaining for us and the audience out there, but we were kind of saying that in the broadcast booth that some of the drivers don't like some of the multi-classes, obviously on certain tracks. And in your case, of course, that was occurring a lot in your cockpit. But yeah, it was entertaining for us because you couldn't take your eyes off the screen anyway. So just literally navigating through the GT4s, you just felt the most difficult exploring the ultimate pace this weekend. I
mean, yeah, I was struggling for pace a lot, but then I had a little bit of a training session yesterday, and it was decent. So I knew qualifying was going to get a bit better, and I got the last lap was actually pretty good, but in the end, I just think it boiled down to me being impatient with the GT4s, and it's just not suiting right. So I don't know. It was a good race. I got a podium out of it, but it was just frustrating.
All right. Well, there you go, Jeremy. You are driving underneath the Finnish flag. You sound like to me very, very British. Is it?
Yeah, no, I'm half English.
Half English. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Because I thought, if you're Finnish, you'd be a man of limited words, right? Like Kimi Räikkönen. Okay.
I mean, I tried to be, but then it's just not me. So I will talk.
Yeah. Well, and cursing, as you were saying before in the car, but that's obviously keeping inside the car. That's
I'm just keeping it family friendly here.
It's fine. All right. Any last words before we'll let you go?
Thanks for the team again. I mean, I'm looking forward to next race as well. Hopefully, it suits the multi-class a bit better, get a bit more chances to overtake. But see what happens.
All right. Thank you, sir. Podium's podium. But I'm sure the man wants a race win, and no doubt he'll keep up the work to get that.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Speaking of the next race, we do have another last interview here, I think.
Yeah, we have Valtteri, the GT4 driver that finished in P5. No, P3.
3. Yeah, there you go. Valtteri.
Yeah.
In copy. Yeah.
Hello, guys.
Yep. All right, well, we just heard before from Jeremy not liking the GT4 class, but then again, you're in the GT4. How did you like racing with the LMPs?
One of the most frustrating races I have ever had. So, yeah, got the base, but no reward today.
Well, you got the podium. You did gain one position for your 609 Porsche. What was the disappointing part?
For setting the pole first and then got collision with LMP3, so yeah. And then falling behind. So yeah, and all the race got some problems with LMP3, so
yeah, that's the joys of multi-classing, isn't it, there, Paulo? Everybody's like love or hate relationship on the track.
We did see some stuff going on in the stream, but hopefully you can give it a watch again and see what you can find about it, so that you can get prepared also for the next track that's going to be Zolder. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I had a win in a Finnish league before there, so it was with Radical, but yeah, I like the track and it will be a fun race.
Well, I think you might be on schedule there for another podium, perhaps a race win. Johnny, your countryman, did take the race win, so you should be at least some sort of consolation reward there. You get it for your countryman.
And teammates.
Yeah.
Teammate.
We are teammates and practiced quite well for the race, so we had the same pace when looking to the practice sessions we had. So,
sorry. Were you guys actually expecting to even challenge Sven after Imola?
Yeah, we knew we have the pace. We didn't really practice on the or do the Imola. Sorry, a bit rusty English.
No problem. You can understand
all
it perfectly, so.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Your English is better than mine. I got that Australian English. The Ice Boys. I think that's what your. You got a sticker on the back of your car that says the Ice Boys. I like that. Any
Yeah.
any last words there, Valtteri, before we let you take off?
Can tell you
Yeah, I
speak
can
in
say-
Finnish as well.
Joo, yeah, I can speak in Finnish a little bit. Joo, ei siinä mitään, että ihan hyvä kisa ja ainoa mitä jäi miettiä, että missä se Frassen Adidas-reppu on, että taas saa pettyä vanhempaan sukupolveen, että ei mitään ensi kisassa sitten Ullan kanssa laatikon läpi ja voittoon. Yeah, that's about it.
Excellent. Thank you. My Google Translate's
Yeah,
crunching
thank
that
you.
one now. You got good work, mate. Thank you, Valtteri, for the 609 machine, finishing third in class of his teammate Yanni, getting it first one. I do believe we have Andy real quick there from our race control has been quite busy. Andy, any of a recap from your perspective there in race control of how you had to handle the situations?
Sorry, I wasn't ready to be called on. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was a couple of incidents, a couple of cases where it's difficult because some parts of the track are very narrow. So I do not have the corner numbers ahead of it in front of me, but there was there's one corner where they arrived sort of coming out of a corner, coming out of a turn, and there were a couple of people who had an incident with a GT4 because the GT4 was sort of, it wasn't clear which line they were taking or if they were trying to take a line, and yeah, but other than that, I think GT4's handled it fairly well and MP3's handled it fairly well. Yeah. There's the usual complaints between classes, but both classes seem to be complaining about equal, so I think we at Race Control did our job well.
I think so. I think so as well too, right, Paulo? We saw those messages popping up, and
Yeah.
I think you're quite glad that you had the extra help there as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Because there was a lot to go through, especially with those messages coming up. I mean, we saw a lot of some. I wouldn't have to say a massive amount of collisions between cars. Most of the mistakes were just drivers, of course, just losing it on their own. Some of them coming back on track there, and unfortunately taking out some of the other drivers.
I think in the end, there's only been 3 penalties that were awarded in total, so not too bad.
Yeah, and as you know, the drivers, don't like, some of them don't like this multi-class format and mixing it up there on certain tracks, but we love it as entertainment for sure. I know that.
Yeah, I think it's a very different track. It's not a track people are used to. It's not your Le Mans, your Monza, your Spa, where people are known of, oh, this is a nice wide track, I can get past here or there. So it's also for the drivers trying to figure out what is the safe way and the quick way to pass traffic, which it's interesting.
I mean, usually you see the multi-class with faster cars like the GTVs and LMP2, so this is a different challenge in itself.
And that as well, yeah.
All we need to do now is throw a couple of Formula Ones in there. Let's get a couple of Beetles, Volkswagen Beetles or something, and we'll get a real class going between everything now. That it's been masterclass racing across the board, you'd have to say, for most of the drivers. We've got drivers from some of the highest ranking in the world down to drivers that are getting more and more into league racing. Still great iRacing numbers across the board there, but that's been fantastic. And that's been a race 2. As you said, race 3, we're moving on to the Dutch coasts where Kevin is. Kevin had a couple of moments, didn't he?
Belgium.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Belgium.
Belgium.
Oh. Which
Zolder is Belgium, Zandvoort is Holland.
Zolder. Sorry, yeah, I thought it's Zolder. Okay, so we're getting into Belgium. Well, there you go. Forget that. I'm not going to talk about Kevin. Kevin then, who had a couple of moments in this race. Anyway, you want to wrap it up there, Paulo, and everybody has a little bit of a lay down for the next one.
Yeah, I was just going to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everyone participating. And thank you also, Bigos, to being here, helping out with commentary. And we will see you next week on Zolder. Same time. Goodbye.